شلام لخم برجانم يقرأ وبشينا بيخو خاجة خيتا الأسيريا TV. From the oldest musical note ever founded in Nippur city in Assyria, the world discovered the most beautiful thing, which is music. And today with us we have a very talented young Assyrian who conquered the world with her beautiful voice. Our guest for today is Janelle Yausif, a soprano singer and an actress. Welcome to Assyria TV, and we are honored to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here today.
I have to say I was so eager to meet you. You accomplished a lot and you are only 19 years old, right?
Yes.
Well, I would like to start at the beginning to let our viewers to know you a little bit more. So can you give us a small introduction about yourself, please?
Yes, for sure. So my name is Janelle Yausif. I'm a 19-year-old soprano opera singer from Toronto, Canada. And I've been singing all my life. I love classical music, opera. I'm also an actress. I finished acting school in New York City, and I am currently at the University of Toronto's Faculty of Music studying classical voice performance.
Amazing. We would like to start at the beginning that, as you mentioned, you start at a very young age. Who discovered your talent and how did you get actually involved in this kind of arts?
Well, since I was 3 years old, I've always had a strong passion and love for music. I would sing around the house. I loved music and I would always be singing. So once my mom discovered that I really had a love for this, she trained me vocally until I was around 6 or 7 years old, and then she took me to a music school to start, studying music professionally. And I was in piano, I was in voice. It's just something that I really loved.
Nice. And is it the same with the acting?
Yes, acting as well. I loved acting. So I did lots of acting school. I did acting training in New York and Toronto. And I just loved acting and singing and just the field of arts.
Amazing. A lot of young people would begin their, training in music in a very common type or genre of music, but you chose opera, which is very uncommon for the young. Why did you choose this genre specifically?
Well, I had a strong love for classical music and for opera. I loved arias. I loved listening to them. And when I was young, I had a very mature voice for my young age, which is why I studied with opera soprano vocalists, and they trained me and helped take care of my voice and develop it in a way so that, of course, I don't damage it, because opera is, it's hard to sing at a very young age. So I studied arias with my teachers very delicately, making sure that, I wouldn't ruin my voice, but at the same time, it helped develop it. And I loved opera, and having a mature voice at a young age, it helped with that strength to perform.
Yeah, amazing. You have been all over the world since you start singing. You won many competitions. At the age of 10, you won at the IMTA convention in Hollywood, and you sang at the red carpets event night, which is awesome. How was this experience for you, being at this young age? Was it overwhelming, or how was it for you?
Well, again, I started performing at a very young age, and I did many competitions, and I started even doing my own tours at a young age, performing my own concerts. So when I did this competition at the IMTA Hollywood convention, I performed. I started performing for the competition, and again, I wasn't, it was a really big competition. Thousands of people were watching. It was live, so many contestants. I wasn't even sure if I was going to win, but I was there just doing what I loved. I was performing. So I didn't feel overwhelmed, because I was just really excited to be performing with so many people. And it was a very big event, and I was so happy to be there. But when I did win, I won first place overall singer. And I was with all the contestants, and everyone was so good. So it was a great honor to be the one that won. But then the next morning, they sent us an invitation, me and my mom, saying that I was going to be performing for the Red Carpet Awards night. So we attended the Red Carpet Gala in Hollywood, and I performed on the stage, and it was such a beautiful event to be at.
So you didn't feel under pressure being that young, or maybe because we all feel in certain occasions that we are under stress or nervous. So you didn't feel this kind of thing being that young?
No, I didn't. Like nerves was something until this day I never get nervous before a performance, and I never felt overwhelmed when I was younger because it wasn't like I was being forced to do something, right? And I never saw the crowd as being something I was scared of. I loved being on that stage and performing for people because I knew many people liked the way I sing, liked the way I performed, so it made me happy to make others
You
happy.
felt like you belong on being on stage, right?
Yes.
Amazing. You won a lot of competitions. I actually cannot even follow up with most of them. But what would you say was the hardest one for you, or the one that you were more proud of, and why?
Well, being in a lot of competitions starting really early on, it was again nothing that it wasn't something that I felt like I had to win or I was scared to lose. I was just happy to be on the stage. So I never, nothing felt ever too much for me or I never felt too hard to accomplish. But recently, I had stopped doing competitions since I was so busy with concerts and performing. But recently, this past August, I was at this big Chinese competition. It was supposed to be in Beijing, China, but because of the COVID restrictions, we couldn't travel. So I performed here in Toronto, Canada. But I took place in this very big Chinese competition, and there were thousands of contestants all over the world that were Chinese singing in Mandarin. And I performed and I won and was taken to the semifinals. So I performed a beautiful Mandarin song in Chinese, and I won the semifinals competition. And then for the finals, I had only less than 5 days to prepare a new song to perform for the finals. And I chose to perform one of the hardest and most patriotic Chinese songs, I Love You, China. And only having 5 days, well, less than 5 days to memorize, to learn the whole piece and perform it well enough for the finals was like a very limited time. So I wasn't nervous, I wasn't scared, but I didn't have too much time and it felt a little, yeah. So I had only less than 5 days and I had to perform it for the finals. And then again, being the only foreigner because everybody else was Chinese and they grew up with, singing in their mother tongue. I was the only foreigner not, speaking Chinese, but I ended up winning the competition. I came in first place, and then they had the big awards night in China. Again, I couldn't attend, so we did one here in Toronto and then they streamed it live there, but it was an amazing event and I was so happy and honored to win first place.
Well, congratulations. How was it for you to be able to pronounce the Chinese words, or was it? I mean, it was hard. Like you say, it was only 5 days. Was there anyone who mentored you through this practice?
Yes, so my teacher, my voice teacher, she is Chinese, and she helped me with the pronunciations. But at the same time, I only had to. I remember I had the song, and she spoke the words for me. She told me how they're pronounced, and then I went home. And then for 3 days straight, I was just sitting in my bed trying to pronounce it correctly. Because again, I don't want to sing a song incorrectly, right? I have to make sure that I'm pronouncing everything right. So I just sat there 3 days straight trying to memorize everything. And then she told me to come after 3 days and perform it for her perfectly. And I did. And
wow, amazing.
So it was a lot of work, but
yeah. It was worth it.
Yes.
We can now show you a small part where Janelle sings in this competition in Chinese. You can now watch the video together.
隆重的请出我们本场决赛的最后一位选手，93号Janelle Yausif带来的《我爱你中国》，有请。
大家晚上好，我是 Janelle Yausif， 我为大家唱一首。 我爱你，中国。
So now we watched the video, amazing performance. So you also tried to sing opera in Assyrian. Why is it important for you to sing in your mother language?
Mhm. Well, as an opera singer, I sing in every single language. I've sung in almost every single language. And, you know, it's my duty to sing in different languages. There are so many beautiful classical songs in different languages, so why not show them? But at the same time, being an Assyrian, you know, why not sing in my language as well? We have so many beautiful classical songs that I can sing in my own style and perform in my own style in our mother tongue. So yes, I've had so many Assyrian performances. I've looked into so many Assyrian songs that I've performed, and I love showing them to others when I perform at different events and different concerts, because they are beautiful, beautiful songs, and why not show our language as well?
I mean, showing your language is showing actually a part of your identity as well.
Yes.
Is it hard to, because there is no Assyrian opera, and there's a really few people who sings in Assyrian and opera style. Is it hard for you to make those Assyrian, to transform them to an opera singing or style?
Well, there are many songs that, you can't really make into that classical style, but there are some beautiful folk songs, some beautiful classical songs by amazing composers such as Rabbi William Daniel, that I've, taken his songs and made them into more like comfortable ranges for me to perform in and sing, and changed a couple things here and there just so that I can sing it in my style. But I guess the hardest part is trying to find these old songs, because it's hard. You can't just search them up and find them, right? You have to see people and know people and try to find the scores, try to find these beautiful songs that many of us haven't even heard still today.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
how about the Assyrian pronunciation of the word? We have very stressed vocals or vowels, and some of them could be hard to put in an opera songs. Do you find any difficulty in these kind of things? And if you do, like, who do you turn to? Who can help you in such things?
Yes, well, I look for pronunciation. I always go to my parents. They help me with pronunciations. I do speak Assyrian fluently, and I speak it at home as well, so that helps. But trying to find, the certain vowels to sing in, of course, is just like in any other language. It's always difficult. Like singing in German, there are certain ways to, sing the vowels. Singing in Czechoslovakian or, Russian, different languages, it all has different ways of, putting the stresses on certain syllables and certain vowels. So also the way they are written, sometimes when there's a music sheet, it helps you. It gives you basically how to sing it with the vowels. So having that guidance is always important.
Yeah, true. So like we said earlier, you travel all around the world, you go and perform, and as Assyrians, we are minority and we are native, we don't have this enough exposure with us or about us. And when you perform, do you carry your identity with you? Do you, for example, when winning, maybe carrying the Assyrian flag, or when you go on stage, you identify yourself as Assyrian? Do you do that, or how do you carry your identity with you along your travels?
Yes. Well, yes, you are very right. We are a nation that is a minority, and exposure is very important for us. So, of course, being a full Assyrian,
especially a positive exposure like you.
yeah, thank you. Of course, being Assyrian for both sides, my mom and dad, I'm full Assyrian. So it's very important to, when people ask me, oh, where are you from? Yes, I'm from Toronto, Canada. I was born here, but my nationality, I'm Assyrian. So that exposure is very important. And whenever I travel, starting when I was very young, people would ask me in interviews in the US, Hollywood interviews, anywhere I did. In Italy, I also went to Italy when I was 9 years old, and I was in the Rome Opera Music Festival competition. And even there, after being the youngest contestant to ever be in that competition, I was asked many questions. Where are you from? What is your nationality? And saying that I'm Assyrian sparked up so many interesting conversations with so many people and different topics on who Assyrians are and how important we really are, and how people don't even know we still exist to this date. So yes, it brings up so many conversations, and it's not just exposure for us, but at the same time, it's letting people know our deep history and how important we really are.
So the responses that you get when you say you are Assyrian, are they mostly positive, right?
Yes,
and they
it's very
carry
positive. Some people didn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, and they carry a lot of acknowledgement about our history and our existence. And this is what is very important that most of the Assyrians should do, that we should always highlight our identity and our history and who we are. And we are very, very thankful for you that you do that, because like we said, you do a very a positive exposure around the world, and carrying this identity will help many other people to know us better. You, like we said, you sang in a lot of opera in Assyrian, and we can watch another video where Janelle performed an opera song, but in Assyrian, called Nineveh, in University of Toronto.
Nineveh, a song written by the late composer William Daniel, is about one of the great and old cities of the Assyrian Empire, which is now located in modern-day Iraq. The song's text speaks about hope for the old city of Nineveh to be new once again. The Assyrian Mesopotamians date back to thousands of years ago, being an ancient civilization. Assyrians still exist to this date, with a very rich culture, especially in the music and arts. As an Assyrian, I hope you enjoyed this beautiful song, Nineveh.
So going back to the Assyrian songs, and you published your own song as well, but we'll get to that later. Do you plan, or do you have any plans on publishing Assyrian songs of your own, maybe albums? Maybe they are not opera, but you know, just normal Assyrian songs. Do you have any of those plans in your mind?
Well, if I do end up making a classical album of covers, I would, it would contain every single, lots of different languages in there because I sing in many different languages when it comes to classical or operas, opera music. But if I were, of course, I would also add a few Assyrian songs in there because, again, we have many beautiful classical Assyrian pieces. But in terms of me composing my own Assyrian songs, I look forward, maybe yes, in the future I would. Um, Again, probably staying within my style of music, more on the classical side. But yes, if I could, I would definitely do that.
What do you think would be the hardships of making an Assyrian opera songs? What are the hardships that you may face with this?
Well, composing it in a classical way, I guess the style of music, you want to keep it, close to the Assyrian kind of genre of music as well, because we have a specific, tune, a specific melody, and not a specific melody, but a specific use of instruments. So maybe keeping it somewhere around there, but at the same time using my style of singing, and of course keeping the words in a way that's universal to all as well.
Well, I agree. You have now, if we go back, you made a song that is called Be Who You Are. Can you tell us more about the song and what is the message behind it?
Yes. Be Who You Are is an original song that I wrote with the music, with the lyrics. Everything was originally made by me. I wrote it when I was around 13 years old, and it's a song about bullying. It sends out a very strong message to people saying that you don't need to change for anyone else. You just need to be yourself and be who you truly are. You don't need to change your looks. You don't need to change your style or anything depending on, what's in trend or what people are bullying you about. Because if you feel comfortable in your own skin, then you just have to be who you are. So this strong message was sent across many different schools around Ontario. I would go in to do assemblies about bullying and talk about the message of the song, and they would play the video around different schools. So it was a big project that I was doing when I was just 13 years old, and I published my first original song. So it did send out a very strong message, and I hope it continues to do so.
Did you face bullying yourself in schools?
Well, I mean, when you're a kid and you're in elementary school or in, middle school, high school, there's a lot of people that do face bullying. I personally never faced, like a one-on-one kind of bully thing, but just as many children, come in contact, I also did come in contact with bullying here and there. So many kids go through it, and I know the struggle, and many adults still to this, even now with cyberbullying, with in-person bullying. There's so many different types of bullying. So everybody at one point of their life probably has come into contact with bullying. So that's why this message, was something that I felt like everyone needed, not just me, but everyone needed to hear.
Being 13, raising such an important issue, why was it important for you to raise awareness about bullying being that young?
Well, I've seen bullying before happen at schools, and so many people see it and don't do nothing. And I wanted to take some sort of action, some sort of action in showing other people that are my age that, this is not right. This is not a good thing. We need to stop this. And if you feel like you're being a victim and you need to change or anything, you just be who you are. You don't need to change for anyone. So I felt like, that message was strong to send being young, because it was a way to kind of speak to my peers and speak to people my age, younger or older than me.
If you let me go deeper a little bit about your song, Be Who You Are, I mean, the title enough is strong and right out, like in your face, what it means. But let's take it a little bit more, personally, because we have to say, like, being in Assyrians in diaspora, it's not easy to fit in with the others. We don't have blonde hair or blue eyes, per se. So we face a lot of bullying. They make us feel that we do not belong. And a lot of young Assyrians start to feel ashamed of their identity, and they try to, melt and be more in this diaspora culture than their own culture. What do you have to say with your song as well to those Assyrians who does not feel connected to their culture or ashamed because of bullying?
Yeah. Well, when I was very, very young, probably in grade 1 or 2, I didn't really understand the deep connection of who what my culture was. Like, yes, I was told I was Assyrian, I'm Assyrian, but what did that really mean, right? Like, my friends would say, oh, I'm Italian, or I'm this, or I'm that. And I'm just like, I'm Assyrian, but what's that? No one knew. So being very young, I always, kind of put that to the side. But once I realized like who we truly are, like it was something that I was so shocked about. And until now, like till this date, I'm always doing research papers. I'm always reading different articles, trying to learn more about us, because if you look deeply, we are amazing. Like, coming from like the first ancient civilization in the world, Assyrians are truly like, it's amazing to learn about. So I would say that you should be really proud if you are Assyrian, because, we are like the first people basically in the world, and we come from a very, very long history of creating so many different things, creating the arts, creating like a lot of different things. So just being proud of who you are, not letting anyone else tell you so, because you are, an amazing person, and you should just be proud of who you are, what your culture is, and not just Assyrians, but many different, nationalities around the world. Just always being proud of yourself.
Yeah, turning the shame into something you should be honored and proud about.
Yes, not being shamed at all, because it's not something to be ashamed of. Like, you are Assyrian, that's who you are. And what if you're ashamed of yourself, then you're just allowing people to make that into something that they can bully you about. But it shouldn't be like that. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you, Janelle. Now we can watch a small part of the video clip, Be Who You Are.
Soon as I see you, torn apart, beating up your heart, spears through your heart, but underneath all of that is a soul with a bright light who stands up for themselves. Wipe your tears, dust yourself off. Winners never quit, quitters never win. Starfish falls never end. You have to climb back up again. To see the things you know, so keep your head up and nothing can go wrong. Wipe the tears, dust yourself up. I told you winners never quit, quitters never win. Starfish falls never end. You have to climb back up again. Try. Don't quit, you'll never have to cry. Just be yourself, who you really are, and then you'll shine like a shining star. Yeah, you don't need to hide. Just be yourself and show your best side. Take off your mask, show your pretty face. Embrace that light with your soul and grace. Dusted yourself off. You're a winner who never quits, who started fresh, whose problems may never end, but still climb back up again.
There are a lot of young Assyrians now that they have a lot of more opportunities to get involved in arts and in music, because in our homelands there's no a lot of encouraging for this kind of things. So now a lot of Assyrians and parents are more and more getting involved with their children's and their hobbies. First of all, what is your advice for the parents, to Assyrian parents especially, to have more knowledge and how to encourage their children to get involved in the arts?
Yes. Well, when I was very young, I'm very lucky because my parents were very, very involved with, letting me do what I loved, which was music. My mom and dad were very supportive, but especially my mom, like she was until this day, she's my momager. She followed up with my training. She goes with me everywhere when I perform. She's always been there for me. So having parents be there for their children is very, very important. I'm so lucky because my parents were there and they still are to this date. My mom is always with me when I travel everywhere. She's very, very supportive. So having, that support helps not just allows your child to do what they love, but it also gives them that motivation, right, to continue and follow their dreams. And also, since I am a music teacher right now, I'm a student and I also teach music on the side. I have my own school of music. Being a music teacher, I teach voice and piano. I have so many Assyrians as well that their parents want their children to learn piano because they love piano or they love singing. So I'll give them lessons, and just seeing that, support that they give to their children now, it's just amazing. And I, to the parents, like, do what your child loves. If they love piano, they love singing, put them into that. Whatever their hobbies are, just helping them and guiding them, because at the end of the day, it's all about what your child really, really likes and wants to do.
And how about, what advice would you give for the young Assyrians who want to follow this path?
Mm-hmm. My advice would be never give up. You will, of course, face many hardships and many blockages during the road, or you feel like nothing's opening, or you just feel like giving up, but don't. Giving up will never help you reach there. But if you don't give up and you just continue and follow your dreams, you will get there one day. And it's all about not giving up and just being happy doing what you love.
Do you see now, as you said, you are a teacher, do you see around you more Assyrians, more and more are getting involved in such a things?
Yes, I do see many Assyrians. I see many kids that love the arts, or or really want to do something, and sometimes their parents won't put them into, different types of lessons or stuff. But now I do see many Assyrians that are doing what they love, going into piano lessons or going into voice lessons or any type of lessons that they really, really want to take. So it's really good because the encouragement is there, and I'm so happy to be seeing that.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, putting young children to any kind of hobby, it could be arts or sports, it's very important for the child personality, child's existence and everything. And I think you would agree with that as well. One more thing, you are a student and you are a teacher and you do concerts and you do a lot of competitions. But what would you say the most thing that brings you joy with all those things?
I would say that I am doing what I love. It's, no matter what I'm doing, if I'm teaching, if I'm studying, if I'm performing, anything I'm doing, it's all related to what I love to do, which is sing or play piano, make music. And I'm just so lucky and honored to have been given that opportunity, to have that support from my parents to really do what I love.
So there's the joy when you see your students evolving, and there's a joy performing and in the competitions as well, right?
Yes,
it's
always,
a different kind of enjoyment.
Yes, I mean, of course, when you're at school and you're studying, like it's fun, but it's a little hard.
Obviously.
It's stressful a little bit, but of course, when you're performing on stage, like just getting up on there and seeing so many people happy before and after the concert, it brings me so much joy.
What are your future plans? What do you have, something near that are you preparing or something that you should do?
Yes, well, for of course, with COVID, it's been a little bit hard. I had so many different events lined up for 2020 that had to be canceled. Right now, we were postponing them for 2022, but because here in Canada, we are going into maybe another lockdown very soon because our COVID cases are going up. So depending on how that works and how the rest of the world will continue with this matter, we might have to cancel the 2022 plans as well. We will see. But for now, I do have some concerts lined up for China because after winning first place in the competition, they booked me a couple tours to go there. I also have many different events coming up here in Toronto that I'm very excited about. I recently just came back from California after performing for an event there. So of course, we're slowly starting to get back into concert mode and performing here and there, but we'll see how it goes for this year.
Well, I hope all the best. You were in California and you sang in from the Maraprim. What was the occasion? How was it?
For His Holiness Mar Awa, yes, I performed for the patriotic dinner, and it was a very great honor, of course. And I performed a few songs in Assyrian, some classical songs, and it was a great honor to have this opportunity to perform for him and for the dinner. And it was a great experience, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was my first time traveling after COVID, right? So after being home for so long, but it was a great opportunity.
Do you have any other message that you want to share with us or with our viewers? Anything you would like to say to them?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. It's been a great joy and a great honor to be on Assyria TV. One final message is thank you so much to everyone who supports me, everyone who listens to my songs, who shares, comments, everything you do for me. Thank you for following me along on this journey, and I'm so happy to be given so many opportunities. I'm so lucky and honored, and I hope to continue making music for everyone to enjoy.
Well, thank you for your words. But before we end this interview, we must hear you sing something for us. So please let us hear your beautiful voice.
Yes, for sure. I will sing Umta by Rabbi Nebu Isabey. I hope you enjoy. Yom Ta'yema Kama Basi Mashima Li Melur Chadeach Kama Topech Lundema Li Shanach Basima Pishele
Wow, I literally got goosebumps. Amazing. Thank you so much. And you have a beautiful, amazing voice. برجعنا نميقري أختي شميلخو قال بسيمة جانيل هاوي تورابا بسيمة برجلخو أيام قبلونيتا منن هاوي إدوخو هاوي بريخا Merry Christmas جانيل إدوخو كله بريخا Stay safe and we will see you soon.